Section 12, Launch Bay Alpha, stand by to launch fighter probe.
Acknowledge input, recorded, and functioning.
Vector coordinates coded and transferred. Acknowledge.
Acknowledge, ready to launch.
Core systems transferring control to probe craft. Launch when ready.
Today on RB's Toy Box. If you like Battlestar Galactica, you're going to want to stay tuned to this episode. We're going to be taking a close look at some of the cool props that you can get from Battlestar Galactica without breaking the bank. Stay tuned. Oh, Cylon's coming. Hit the turbos. That's right. Today we have a very special package from the Dutch Cylon. This is a special order item that I put in to be able to get this in just for us here on RB's Toy Box. Check it out. What do you say we take a closer look at this Battlestar Galactica Viper helmet from the Dutch Cylon? Let's get started. Welcome back to another episode here of RB's Toy Box. Now, as I mentioned in the intro promo, I'm going to show you some props that RB's Toy Box was able to acquire. Going to kind of do a review of some things that I have gotten for Battlestar Galactica. Now, we're talking the 1978 version. I mean, let's face it, the only true version. And if you like the other Battlestar Galactica, you know what? I'll still love you. Feel free to comment down there in the comments about how much you love the other Battlestar Galactica. I'll give you a thumbs up every time. But let's face it, for RB's Toy Box, the 78 version is the real Battlestar Galactica. Now, that being said, please like and share. I got a lot of cool stuff here at RB's Toy Box that I try to bring to you guys. I buy all this stuff myself for 99.9% of it. I've only had like one vendor ever ask me to make videos. Everything else is stuff that I bought because I love it and I want to share it with you guys and girls and let you know that you can get some of this stuff too and how to get it, and in some cases how to take care of it. So make sure you smash that like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Now, you would remember a review that I did back in January where I picked up this little guy here from the Dutch Cylon, and I made a very detailed examination of this prop with the wonderful sound effects that it has, and compared it to my fiberglass, or this is actually a resin cast. This one's fiberglass, this one's resin, and you know, made the examples and everything of, again, different props that you can get that are not that expensive for your Battlestar Galactica collection. I mean, let's face it, if you go out there and try to get a screen used one, and then you try to get one that is either certified by the studio like the helmets are, then you're going to pay a small fortune, where these you can pick up in the $350, $400 range, and it has all of the wonderful lights and sound effects that even the screen used versions don't have, and this one even will play the Battlestar Galactica theme. Now, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this one. Make sure you go back and look for the review that I did on this one. Again, this was from the Dutch Cylon. So I'll turn that baby off. But today, I want to show you this that I just got in. I was so impressed with the quality of the laser pistol that I have been saving up RB Toy Box's pennies to be able to get one of these. Now, when you say, how much does something like this cost? Well, let me just say, if you go over to eBay and you look up a Battlestar Galactica helmet that has been set aside or has been specifically cast for reproduction from the studio, they start at $3,000 and go up. That's if they've got any out there right now. Last time I checked, it was rolling right around $4,000. That's a lot of money for something that's going to look great on a shelf. And if you've got that money, you know what? Run out there, get one, and send me a link to it. I want to see it because they look fantastic. But this one right here, made by the Dutch Cylon, is a beautiful recreation of this helmet, Battlestar Galactica 1978. Now, it does have the light effects on it. I did not turn these on in the promo because of, you know, the bleed. So on my camera setup, it has a lot, it bleeds through a whole lot. But when you put these on without the cameras on, it looks fantastic. Individual LEDs all the way around the bottom and the top, so it has that same look to it. I already talked to the Dutch Cylon. I'm probably going to be experimenting a little bit with voltage and a potentiometer to try to dial it back so I can put it in some different cool little videos that I have planned for, you know, some cool stuff that I'm going to do with it. Now, let's look a little closer at this particular reproduction. Now, you're looking at something that costs approximately $700 by the time you do conversion rates and shipping to get it over here to the United States. It takes approximately 6 to 8 weeks for him to build it and ship it over to you, unless he's got a one or two that he made with the last batch that he did. Now, towards the end of this video, I'm going to have some production photos that he sent, so you can kind of see how the buildup of this goes, but the end result is absolutely gorgeous. Now, is it screen flawless? No. But unless you go, you're not going to see it. You know what I'm saying? Up here on the shelf, you're not going to see it. And even on camera, you're not going to see it. Now, for example, on the studio produced one, this is a crystal clear acrylic that they put around here. His has a little bit of a foggy look to it. Almost a little bit of a yellow tint to it. That probably helps with the dispersion of the LEDs inside. Otherwise, they would be a very stark. Up inside in here, I added foam padding. They come with just like a black velvet liner. And then, you know, you can put whatever. And then I've just, like I said, I've added the foam in here just from some crate foam, basically, so that it'll fit on my noggin and I can wear it around. Now, there are some guys out there that know way more about this kind of stuff than I do, I think. And they put all kinds of foam around the base, everything around here. And I mean, they just go crazy with it. And you know what? These are the guys out there with the jackets and the boots and everything. And I'm working on it. I don't have the jacket and the boots yet because all the ones that I've been able to find so far, just they kind of look cheesy. And I want to get something that at least looks a little decent. But I'm working my way up there. When it comes to quality props so far, between, you know, this one here, and then I've got this resin guy over here that I also put in that comparison video. This was from a vendor that came by the neutral zone one time while I was up there. That's Ray Tessie's place up in Georgia. I was up there doing a visit, and they had a vendor there that had this, and I said I didn't care how much it was. I wanted it, and it was like $100. I also have from that same vendor, it looks a little cheesy, but again, you know what? If you know anything about how these movies are made, they're actually like this. They're not the fully functional kind of, you know, they're like boop, 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 boop. That's it. That's how they make these things work. It's part of the fantasy. It's part of the beautiful fiction that you got when these things look like, oh, wow. And then you get them and they're really just wood, right, with a little light on them. But that's kind of how they are really, truly in the shows. If you go back and you look at the original props that came from Star Trek, they're literally chunks of wood and plastic. They're not anything like the really cool ones that we get from from Wand, where, it has all the buttons and lights and everything and it looks fantastic. They're not like that in the real show. But, like I said, the studio produced ones, they go and they do the minute exact detail because they know they're going to charge a small fortune for it. But, I picked these up from that vendor. This was like $30 or something. But that's why I say you can use masters of their craft, like the Dutch Cylon, to be able to get something like this that's very impressive and very detailed, and something like this which is very impressive and very detailed, and have this as, part of your collection, part of your story, just like it is here at RB Toy Box. These are just everything that I've got, short of some extremely rare stuff, you can get too. And if you go to the same kind of vendors that I did, you can save some money with that too. Because like I said, instead of getting a $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 one, if you can get one, having him handcraft one of these for you, and then being able to put it on and look in the mirror, and just for a few minutes, you're Apollo, or you're Starbucks, right? Or you're a Boomer, or whoever you want to be, you can be. And that's the beauty about these props. That's the beauty about RB's Toy Box. And when he grew up, it didn't matter that I didn't have a perfect... My dad one time took a Kleenex box, back when they had like these plastic little flip open Kleenex boxes that you would pull out the little, wipey things that your mom would keep in the purse. And he took that and he put a little board inside with a couple of dials on it, and then there was my tricorder, or my communicator. When I was a kid, I was Star Trek, and that thing was everything to me. I would that I could find the same plastic one. I would redo the same thing. But to be able to relive these things, to have a prop that, for all intents and purposes, this could have been used in a show, nobody would know any different. It's that good. Come on. This, again, from the Dutch Cylon. His link and everything's going to be down. Stay tuned for a little B-roll there at the end. I'm going to show you some pictures that he sent me of the build-up and the painting and everything that he did to get it looking like this. I'm going to turn the lights on here. It is beautiful. Extremely well painted. There's no paint overlap on here. None of that you would see if somebody was just sloppily putting it together. This was done by hand. It was meticulous, and I highly recommend you get one. Stay tuned for more cool videos we've got here from RB's Toy Box. Make sure that you like and subscribe and let me know that you like these videos. I super appreciate it. And please, comment down below. Tell me and everyone else who watches RB's Toy Box. We're like 550 followers now. It's absolutely wonderful. We've had that many people share their time with me. I love that. And put in the comments down below, how has Battlestar Galactica affected you? Is it part of your memory structure that you remember sitting down 8 o'clock at night and that coming on, and for the next hour, nothing else around you mattered. It was just you and the TV and your dad and mom sitting behind you watching the show with you, which for me was a great childhood memory. There's a lot of stuff I watched my parents didn't watch with me. Battlestar Galactica is one of the ones that was a family show for us. Stay tuned to RB's Toy Box. I really appreciate you guys.